All right, we're ready to really get into couples therapy today, huh?
Yeah, sounds good.
We've got we're working with excerpts from the Handbook of Couples Therapy,
Okay.
and it's edited by like all the big names in the field. So
Oh, wow.
it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah,
And
it's exciting.
yeah, so this handbook's kind of like a master class in relationships,
Oh,
right?
sure. Yeah.
It covers everything.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive.
From like those first, exciting moments
Yeah, right.
to like, the long haul,
The long term, yeah.
the commitment.
Exactly.
And what's really fascinating is how much research has actually gone into this.
Yeah.
Like what makes couples work
Right.
and sometimes not work.
Yeah, it's not just like anecdotal stuff anymore. It's
Oh,
like data, studies, and real evidence,
Yeah.
which is great.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
So we're skipping those silly magazine quizzes and we're going straight to like the source material.
Exactly.
We're gonna unpack all the latest research and
Yeah.
give you the inside scoop from the therapists themselves.
And the best part is we're not just going to like summarize, we're going to analyze this stuff. We're
Yeah.
going to connect the dots and help you understand not just like what they're saying, but why it matters for your own relationships.
Absolutely, and how you could use this information.
Exactly.
Okay, so to get started, the handbook defines marriage and cohabitation.
Okay.
And right away it gets interesting
Right.
because they point out that research actually suggests a stronger sense of commitment in marriages
Okay.
compared to cohabiting.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, you would think like living together is kind of the same these days, but it
Right.
sounds like it's not.
The data says otherwise. Yeah, so I do still has some weight to it.
Yeah, it seems so.
Legally and psychologically?
Yeah, legally for sure, but psychologically too. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about.
It is.
I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that marriage is like a public declaration.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like you're making a commitment to each other, but also to like your community.
Right. To everyone, your families.
Yeah, maybe even society as a whole.
That's a great point. Like a social contract
Right. Yeah.
that makes you more accountable.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have the legal implications of marriage.
Okay, right.
Which affect everything from finances to parental rights.
Yeah, it's not just a romantic thing, is it?
Right.
It's like woven into the system.
Right, exactly.
Huh.
But even within that commitment of marriage, the handbook talks about like a marital life cycle,
Okay.
suggesting that relationships change over time.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's not static. It's a
Dynamic process.
dynamic process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always evolving.
And those early years of marriage,
Right.
especially, they're seen as a really important proving ground.
I can imagine.
Statistically, that's when a lot of couples,
Hit those first roadblocks.
they hit those first roadblocks.
Yeah, those first few years are tough.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about blending lives,
Right.
figuring out routines.
Figuring out who does what.
Yeah, and navigating those in-law relationships.
Oh, yeah, the in-laws.
There's a lot.
A lot to handle.
And the handbook identifies 4 key tasks
Okay.
that couples really need to master in those early years.
Right. Relationship boot camp.
Yeah, exactly.
Lay it on me.
So first up is commitment,
Okay.
but it's deeper than just saying I do. Right.
Right. Yeah.
It's about actively valuing the relationship, like day in and day out.
So it's about putting in the work.
Yeah, it's about putting in the work,
Not just coasting.
not just coasting.
Right.
Exactly.
Got it.
And then there's caring,
Okay.
which goes beyond those initial,
The butterflies.
the butterflies. Yeah,
The infatuation.
it's about building real emotional attachment.
Right. The kind that lasts.
Yeah, the kind that lasts
Yeah.
through those tough times.
It makes you think about the difference between like loving someone
Right.
and really caring for them.
Yeah, love can be fleeting, but care
Yeah, 'cause
is
it's deeper.
deeper. It involves empathy
I understand.
and a willingness to put their needs alongside your own,
That's so true.
and to cultivate that kind of caring.
Right.
You need good communication.
Of course, communication is key, right?
Yeah, the handbook talks about creating like a shared language,
Okay.
learning to really listen to each other,
Right.
and finding effective ways to actually express like your needs and desires.
Yeah, you got to be able to talk to each other
Right.
and understand each other.
It's about bridging those individual worlds.
It is bridging the gap.
You know, it's funny because we always hear that, like communication is key,
Yeah.
but no one really tells us how to actually do it.
Exactly. How to actually communicate.
It's not just about talking more.
Right. It's about smarter.
Yeah, talking smarter.
Yeah, being more effective.
And then, of course, there's conflict.
Right. Conflict and compromise.
And compromise, yeah.
You can't avoid it.
No two people agree on everything. So
exactly.
learning to disagree constructively is so important.
The handbook actually says that conflict can be an opportunity for growth.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's not about avoiding it,
Right.
but using it to understand each other better.
Yeah, to build a stronger foundation.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
It is.
But easier said than done sometimes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember those early years.
Right.
Even little disagreements.
Felt huge.
Felt huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, like major battles.
Yeah, they talk about this couple, Hope and Jeremy.
Okay.
And they're struggling to find a balance between Hope's family, who's like really close, and Jeremy wants more space.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, classic scenario.
It's like you're trying to build your own world.
Right.
But those family ties are still pulling at you.
They are, yeah.
So how did they work that out?
So the therapist helped them find a compromise,
Okay.
create some boundaries that honored both sides.
Right.
You know, Hope's family and Jeremy's need for space.
Okay.
But it took some family therapy, too.
Oh, wow.
To help Hope kind of step out of the role she was used to.
So it's not just about the couple.
No, it's about the whole family system.
The whole family system.
And how that impacts the relationship.
Right, because sometimes those unspoken family rules.
Right, those expectations.
Yeah, they can really mess things up.
They can.
It makes you realize that marriage isn't just about
two people.
Two people, yeah.
Two families.
It's two families coming together.
And all that history.
Yeah, and finding a way to create something new.
Yeah, something harmonious.
Harmonious is a good word. It is. And speaking of creating something new,
okay,
let's talk about kids.
Oh, yeah, the game changer.
Right. We're moving from couples to
couples with young children.
Couples with young children, as the handbook calls it.
That's cute.
And I'm guessing this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, absolutely. Kids change everything.
They do.
They bring so much joy.
Yes.
But they also really shake things up.
Yeah, they shake up the dynamics.
Like dynamics, yeah.
In big ways.
For sure.
You're not just partners anymore.
Right.
You're parents.
Your mom and dad.
Yeah. And that shift can be exciting.
Yeah.
But also challenging.
Very challenging.
I imagine it's like
learning a new dance.
Yeah, like learning a new dance.
Where you're constantly stepping on each other's toes.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out the steps.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a whole new rhythm.
And let's be honest.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to
feel romantic.
To feel romantic when you're exhausted.
Right.
And covered in baby food.
Exactly. No time for romance.
So how do you even find time for each other?
That's the question.
Amidst all that
chaos.
Chaos, yeah.
Well, the handbook says it's all about being intentional.
Okay.
You have to carve out that adult time.
Right.
Even if it's just like a few minutes each day.
Okay.
Just to connect, without talking about the kids.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a small investment,
right,
but it pays off big time.
Yeah, it's like remembering that you were a couple.
Exactly.
Before you were parents.
Before your mom and dad.
And that foundation needs work.
It needs attention.
It needs attention, yeah.
And they also talk about getting support from family.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If you have family nearby,
right,
that can make all the difference.
Yeah, an extra pair of hands.
Exactly. It gives you time to breathe, to reconnect.
To reconnect, yeah.
Speaking of those early years, there's this couple, Ted and Emily, and they really struggled with who does what.
Right, the division of labor.
The division of labor, yeah.
After the baby.
After the baby, yeah.
All of those unspoken expectations.
That can really backfire.
They can. What happened with Ted and Emily?
Well, Ted just assumed that Emily would, handle everything. Work, childcare, the house.
Oh, man.
And Emily felt totally overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No.
It sounds like they needed to have some serious conversations.
They did.
About their expectations and needs.
Exactly. And therapy helped with that.
Okay, good.
They renegotiated their roles, found a better balance.
Okay.
It wasn't about blaming. It was about understanding.
Understanding.
Or finding a compromise.
Yeah, because resentment can build up so fast.
It can.
When you don't talk about those things.
For sure.
But it doesn't get any easier as the kids get older, right?
Oh.
I hear those teenage years can be brutal.
Oh, the teenage years,
Yeah.
that's a whole other challenge. A whole other ball game.
Yeah, and the handbook actually dedicates a whole section
Real
to couples with adolescents.
couples with adolescents. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready. What do we need to know? So the handbook, it kind of paints this vivid picture of the challenges
Right.
in this phase.
Okay, what are some of the things we need to watch out for?
Well, it says that adolescence is just like a volatile time
Right.
for everyone, for teens,
Yeah.
your parents.
Okay.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Think about all the changes they're going through, right?
Right.
Physical, emotional, social.
It's a lot.
So, yeah, it's huge.
Trying to figure out who they are
Right.
and where they fit in.
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
Yeah, and that whole finding yourself process
Yeah.
can lead to,
Some trauma.
some pretty dramatic shifts in behavior.
Yeah, and for parents, it can be like,
Confusing.
yeah, confusing, frustrating.
Frustrating, yeah.
You don't know what to do.
What worked before
Right. With the younger kids.
doesn't work now.
Totally different ballgame.
Right,
Now they're developing their own sense of autonomy.
right, and pushing boundaries.
Oh, yeah, they're pushing those boundaries.
Yeah, so our parenting playbooks are kind of useless.
They're outdated.
Outdated, yeah.
Got to rewrite them.
Yeah, and that can lead to a lot of tension between partners.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
You disagree on how to handle things?
Yeah, like, what's the best way to deal with this?
Yeah, the outbursts.
Yeah.
The boundary pushing.
It's easy to start blaming each other.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You're stressed.
When you're stressed. Yeah.
You feel like you're failing. And
Right.
it's like, whose fault is this?
Yeah. But the handbook, it stresses how important it is
Yeah.
to actually support each other
Okay.
as parents.
So support, not blame.
Support, not blame. Yeah.
Got it.
It's about presenting a united front,
Oh, right.
even if you disagree in private. Because if the teenagers sense like a crack
Oh, yeah.
in that alliance,
They'll use it.
they'll use it.
Yeah. They're so good at that.
They know how to divide and conquer.
They're masters of manipulation.
Oh, yeah.
And the handbook, it even says that a teenager's behavior
Yeah.
can actually impact the couple's relationship
Interesting.
in unexpected ways.
Really?
Yeah, they give this example of Miguel Jr.
Right.
and his truancy and depression
Oh, yeah.
actually ended up bringing his parents closer.
So even the tough stuff
Yeah.
can sometimes
Bring you together.
bring you together.
It's wild.
It's like a reminder that you're
in it together.
you're in it together.
No matter what.
No matter what. Through thick and thin,
Exactly.
it's about that shared sense of purpose,
Right, that commitment.
that commitment.
You made those vows.
Right, yeah.
But of course, not all challenges are the same.
Right.
The handbook, it doesn't shy away from those really tough topics. The ones that can really shake things up.
Okay.
And one of those is infidelity.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
It is.
But I appreciate that they actually use that word.
Yeah, it's direct.
It's direct, yeah.
No sugarcoating.
No sugarcoating.
It's honest.
And it's important to remember that infidelity,
Right.
it can take many forms.
Yeah, it's not just physical affairs.
Right, there's also emotional affairs.
Yeah, where you're like emotionally connected to someone else.
Right.
And those can be just as devastating.
Because it's still a betrayal of trust right at the core.
Yeah.
It breaks that feeling of safety and security.
Right, that foundation of the relationship.
It's that foundation, yeah.
And the handbook really emphasizes the importance of confidentiality in therapy when you're
Right.
dealing with infidelity.
It's a sensitive topic.
It
You
is
need a safe space.
a safe space to talk.
Yeah, to talk about it openly.
We can yell
To heal, yeah,
without judgment.
without judgment.
Yeah, so everyone feels heard.
Heard and understood.
Understood, yeah.
And they outline this three-phase approach
Okay.
that therapists often use
All right, 3 phases.
when working with couples
We got it.
who are dealing with infidelity.
Okay, lay it on me.
So first there's restoring trust,
Okay, restoring trust.
which means addressing that immediate trauma.
Right, of the betrayal.
Yeah, like tending to those wounds,
Yeah, acknowledging the pain.
the pain.
Yeah, you can't just ignore it.
You can't just ignore it, no.
It won't go away on its own.
And then comes understanding vulnerability,
Okay, understanding vulnerability.
which is where therapy delves into the reasons
Right,
for the infidelity.
the underlying reasons.
Yeah, it's about exploring those cracks.
In the relationship.
Yeah, the cracks in the relationship.
It might have contributed
Yeah, it's about getting to the root of it.
to the root of the problem.
Yeah, not just focusing on the symptoms.
Exactly, not about excusing it.
Right.
But understanding the context,
Oh, the
the
context.
factors that led to it,
It's like
like an investigation,
yeah, like an investigation.
trying to figure out what went wrong.
What went wrong, yeah, and why.
Exactly.
And then finally, there's the phase of forgiveness
Okay.
and reconciliation
Forgiveness and reconciliation.
or separation.
Or separation.
Right. So it's not about forcing people to,
To get back together.
yeah, to get back together.
It's about making choices.
Yeah, conscious choices
About the future.
about the future.
Okay.
It's about giving them the power
Great.
to make informed decisions
Informed decisions.
based on a deeper understanding of themselves,
Of themselves?
their partner,
Their partner.
and the dynamics that led to the crisis.
That makes sense.
And speaking of deeper understanding,
Okay.
the handbook mentions something that I think is often overlooked,
Oh, what's that?
the spiritual dimension.
The spiritual dimension, huh?
Yeah, because spirituality can play a big role
Yeah, I can see that.
in how couples find meaning and purpose
Right.
in their relationship.
Especially during tough times.
Yes, especially during tough times.
You're looking for something bitter.
Yeah, like when your world feels shaken,
Right.
you start searching for something to hold on to.
Yeah, for comfort, for guidance.
Yeah, for guidance.
And for some couples,
Yeah,
traditional religion,
just do it for them.
it doesn't cut it. Yeah.
Right.
They need something else.
They might find that connection in nature,
Oh, yeah.
or maybe they explore philosophical ideas together,
Interesting.
or even just create their own rituals
Their own rituals, yeah.
and traditions
That's beautiful.
that hold meaning for them.
It is. It's about finding what works for you.
Right. What resonates with you personally.
Your own path,
Yeah, your own path.
whether it's religion or something else.
In the handbook, it stresses that therapists
Yeah.
need to be sensitive to those different beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Practices.
It's about respect.
Respect, yeah.
Not about pushing your own beliefs.
Right.
It's about meeting them where they are.
Yeah, meeting them where they are
On their spiritual journey.
on their spiritual journey, yeah.
And, another topic that often gets swept under the rug
Okay.
is finances.
Finances, yeah.
Money.
Yeah, the handbook really tackles that head on.
It does.
Looking how money matters.
Right?
Impact couples across all those different socioeconomic brackets.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because let's be real, money can be a huge source of stress
It can.
and conflict
Oh, yeah.
in any relationship.
For sure.
But those pressures,
Right.
they probably show up differently
I would think so.
depending on your income level.
Right. So how does it break down?
So the handbook talks about how lower income couples, they might face constant stress
Okay.
from just trying to make ends meet.
Right. Just surviving.
Yeah, surviving. It's hard to focus on building a strong relationship when you're constantly worried about
Putting food on the table.
putting food on the table.
Keeping a roof over your head.
Yeah, keeping a roof over your head.
It's like survival mode.
Yeah, you're in survival mode.
And that takes a toll on you.
It does.
Emotionally,
You're
yeah.
drained.
Yeah. And therapists who work with lower income couples,
Yeah.
they need to be sensitive to these realities.
Absolutely.
And offer practical support
Right?
in addition to emotional guidance.
It's about meeting their needs.
Yeah. Meeting them where they are
Where they are.
and helping them navigate those
Immediate challenges.
immediate challenges. Yeah.
The day-to-day struggles.
And then for middle class couples,
Okay.
the financial pressures might revolve around those milestones.
Right, like the American dream.
The American dream. Yeah.
Buying a house, college for the kids,
Yeah. Saving for retirement.
retirement, yeah, all that.
And those goals.
They can feel really elusive,
They can. Yeah.
especially with the cost of living going up all the time.
Yeah. It's tough out there.
It's like you're on this treadmill of achievement,
Right. Always striving.
always striving, yeah,
Never quite reaching it.
never quite reaching it.
Yeah. That could be frustrating.
It can lead to tension
Oh, yeah, for sure.
in the relationship.
Definitely.
So therapists often help these couples
Okay.
examine their values,
Their values.
their priorities,
Oh, okay.
to make sure they're aligned with their goals
Right.
and that they're not sacrificing their well-being
Yeah. That's
in
it.
pursuit of more stuff.
Yeah. More.
Yeah.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, yeah.
Sometimes you got to simplify.
It's about finding that balance between,
Ambition and contentment.
yeah, that's it.
Because sometimes the pursuit of more
Right.
can actually undermine what you already have.
That's so true.
And then you have upper class couples.
Okay, upper class. Yeah, who might experience a whole different set of Problems, yeah, related to their wealth.
It's easy to think that money solves everything.
Right.
But it doesn't. It
doesn't.
can actually create problems.
So money doesn't buy happiness
No.
or relationship satisfaction.
It can actually make things worse.
Right. So upper class couples,
Right.
they might struggle with isolation,
Okay.
entitlement,
Entitlement.
or
Yeah.
power imbalance.
Power imbalances. Yeah, that makes sense.
They might also have problems managing their wealth
Oh, right.
or dealing with inheritance
Yeah, those are unique problems.
and navigating those social pressures
Right.
that come with affluence.
It's like they're in a bubble,
Yeah, a ball.
insulated from the real world,
Yeah.
but with their own set of problems.
Right. And therapists,
Yeah.
they need to be aware of those dynamics
Okay.
and help them navigate those challenges.
It's about finding connection.
Yeah.
Meaning.
Yeah, amidst all that wealth.
Right.
And it's the wealth. Yeah.
And it's a reminder that no matter how much money you have,
Right.
relationships still require,
Effort.
yeah, shared vision.
Yeah. You got to be on the same page.
Money might not buy happiness,
Nope.
but it can definitely,
Make things worse.
make things worse.
If there are already problems.
Speaking of problems,
Okay.
not all relationships
Right.
are meant to last.
That's true.
And the handbook, it acknowledges that
Okay.
by addressing those situations where couples are
Considering divorce.
considering divorce, yeah,
It's the other side of the coin.
right.
Sad, but it happens.
And even when a relationship is ending,
Yeah.
therapy can still be valuable.
So it's not about saving the relationship.
No, not necessarily.
It's about helping them through it.
Yeah, navigating that separation.
Right, with dignity.
With dignity.
As smoothly as possible.
Yeah, the handbook talks about both the
The
emotional and the practical aspects.
Okay. Of divorce.
Makes sense.
Emphasizing the importance of helping couples
Yeah,
make healthy decisions
about their future.
about their future.
Okay.
So it's not just about the legal stuff.
Right.
It's about providing support.
Emotional support.
Yeah, and guidance
Guidance, yeah.
through a really difficult transition.
It's a tough time.
And a key focus is minimizing the impact on the kids.
Oh, of course, the kids.
Yeah, research shows that kids do better
Okay.
when they have a good relationship
Right.
with both parents.
Even if they're not together.
Yeah, even if they're not together.
That makes sense.
So it's about putting the kids first,
Yeah. Their needs come first.
even during the divorce.
Even during the divorce.
And therapists can help with that.
Okay.
They can help parents develop
Strategies.
yeah, co-parenting
Oh,
strategy,
parenting.
create a stable environment.
A loving environment.
Yeah, even though their own relationship
Mm-hmm.
is ending.
It's a big shift.
It's a big shift, yeah.
From partners to co-parents.
From partners to co-parents.
Focusing on the kids.
Yeah, with the kids' well-being as the
The priority.
yeah.
And, we've been talking about all these different stages and
Right.
challenges.
Yeah.
And it keeps making me think about that,
That concept.
that concept of the marital life cycle
Oh, right.
from the handbook.
The marital life cycle.
Yeah, it's like a roadmap
Right.
for understanding the different phases.
Right. Each with its own tasks.
Tasks and transitions.
Transitions, yeah.
But the traditional model with the age-related stages,
Yeah.
it feels a bit limiting.
I agree. It's like everyone's different.
Right.
Everyone moves at their own pace.
Exactly. And the handbook actually offers a different perspective.
Okay, I like that.
Instead of those age-related stages,
Yeah.
they talk about a more universal model
Interesting.
based on two basic human needs:
Okay, what are those?
intimacy and identity.
Intimacy and identity.
Yeah, so it's not about your age.
Right.
It's about how you navigate these needs.
Within your relationship.
Exactly.
And those needs,
Right.
they can sometimes be in conflict.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Intimacy is about closeness, connection.
Connection, yeah.
But identity is about,
Being your own person.
being your own person.
Having your own space.
It's like a dance
Right.
between those two poles.
You lean in,
You lean in.
and then you pull back.
You pull back.
And finding that balance.
Right, that balance.
Is key.
It's the key to a healthy relationship.
Yeah, where both partners feel
Connected, but also free
to be
themselves.
themselves.
to pursue their own things.
Yeah, it's not about merging into
One person.
in one person. Yeah,
It's about two individuals
Yeah.
coming together.
creating this harmony
Yeah.
where both can thrive.
And the handbook says this dance between intimacy and identity.
It continues throughout the
The whole relationship.
whole relationship.
It's not just a phase.
Not just a phase. Yeah,
Ongoing
it's an ongoing
negotiation.
adjustment.
Assessment.
It never ends.
It never ends.
You're always figuring it out.
Like constantly recalibrating,
Right.
finding that new equilibrium
As you grow and change.
as you grow and change.
And speaking of change,
Okay.
the handbook also explores different therapeutic approaches.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, different ways of working with couples.
So we're getting a behind-the-scenes look
Yeah, a peek behind the curtain.
at how therapists approach these issues.
Exactly.
Using all these different
Tools and techniques.
tools and techniques. Yeah.
It's like a toolbox
Okay.
with a tool for every situation.
I like that analogy.
And a good therapist knows which tool to use.
Right. So which tool are we reaching for first?
Let's start with Bowen family systems theory.
Bowen family systems theory. Okay. Yeah, it's all about the interplay of individuality and togetherness
Okay.
in families.
In families.
Yeah, it's like this delicate dance
Right.
between those two forces.
Okay.
And the therapist helps the couple understand
Yeah.
how their family history,
Okay.
their patterns
Yep.
are affecting their current dynamics.
So it's about recognizing those generational patterns that
Totally.
might be playing out,
Yeah.
even if they're not aware of it.
Subconsciously.
Yeah, subconscious.
They're just repeating what they've seen.
It's like untangling those
Emotional knots.
those emotional knots.
That have been passed down
Yeah.
through generations.
And the goal is to
help them become more self-aware.
self-aware, more
Right.
autonomous.
Autonomous. Okay.
But while maintaining healthy connections with their families.
Right. So it's about finding that balance.
Yeah, that balance.
Between being connected
And being true to yourself.
and being true to yourself.
Yeah, it's not easy because you can't really connect with your partner
Right.
if you're still
Stuck in those old patterns.
stuck in those old patterns.
You got to break free.
And then you have object relations couple therapy,
Object relations.
which
right.
focuses on the internal world
Right.
of each partner.
Their inner world.
Yeah, and how their childhood experiences
Right. Their early experiences.
shape their expectations
Okay.
and behaviors in relationships.
So their past is affecting their present.
Yeah, it's about understanding those deep-seated beliefs
Okay.
and patterns.
That are driving their interactions.
Yeah, even if they're not consciously aware of them.
So it's all subconscious.
Yeah, subconscious stuff.
And these therapists, they explore how couples
Right.
project their own issues onto each other.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it creates all these unconscious dynamics
Okay.
that lead to conflict.
Conflict and misunderstanding.
Misunderstandings, yeah.
It's like they're playing out those childhood dramas, but on the stage of their relationship.
Exactly. And the therapist's job is to
Bring it to light.
bring it to light.
Make them aware of
Make
it.
them aware of those patterns.
Yeah, so they can see how those old scripts might
Right.
be sabotaging them.
Yeah, sabotaging their relationship.
And then we have narrative therapy,
Narrative therapy.
which
Okay.
takes a very different approach.
Right. How's it different?
It sees problems as external to the individual
Okay.
and focuses on how couples can create
Yeah.
new stories
New stories. Okay.
about themselves and their relationship.
Interesting.
So it's less about digging into the past
Okay.
and more about reimagining the present and future.
The present and future. Yeah.
So how do they do that?
Well, they use techniques like externalizing the problem,
Okay.
which means like separating the problem from the person.
Okay.
So instead of saying John is angry,
Right.
you'd say anger is influencing John's behavior.
Oh, that's a subtle shift.
Yeah, but it's powerful.
Yeah, because it helps them see the problem as something
Right.
they can actually
They can
challenge,
overcome it.
overcome it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not part of who they are.
Exactly. It's
But
sense.
it gives them agency
Agency, yeah.
and power to change.
Power to change. That's great.
And it probably reduces shame and blame
It does.
in the relationship.
Yeah, it's not about pointing fingers.
And narrative therapists,
Yeah.
they also work with couples to,
To identify their strengths.
their strengths.
Their resources.
Okay.
To build on the positive.
A positive.
Yeah, what's already working.
Yeah. It's about shifting that focus
From the negative.
from the negative
to the positive.
to the positive,
And
using those strengths to create a better future,
a better future.
a happier future.
And then we have emotionally focused therapy.
Emotionally focused therapy.
Okay. Which emphasizes the importance of emotions
Okay.
in relationships.
Emotions are key
Yeah.
in any relationship.
And it helps couples
Understand
their emotions.
and regulate them.
Regulate them.
Yeah, their emotional responses.
Okay, so it's about becoming more emotionally intelligent
Yeah, emotionally intelligent.
as individuals and as a couple.
So these therapists, they help couples identify their primary emotions,
Their primary emotions, okay.
which are those raw
Raw, vulnerable feelings
Vulnerable feelings.
that often get hidden,
Yeah, hidden by other emotions.
like anger or withdrawal.
Withdrawal, yeah.
It's like peeling back the layers.
Peeling back the layers.
Sort of get to the core.
The core of what's going on.
The core of what's going on, yeah.
Deep stuff.
And the goal is to help them create a secure emotional bond.
Okay, a secure bond.
Where they feel safe.
Safe to express themselves.
Yeah, safe to express their true feelings and needs.
So it's about creating a safe haven.
A safe haven, yeah.
For emotional intimacy.
Because that feeling of safety, it's so important for vulnerability. You got to feel safe to be vulnerable.
You can't really open up
No.
if you're afraid of being
Judged.
Rejected,
yeah.
It's too risky.
And then you have strategic
Okay.
and solution focused.
Solution focused.
Couples therapy.
All right, so two more.
Which are both very action oriented.
Action oriented, okay.
So they're less about
the past. Yeah.
The deep stuff, or exploring deep emotions.
Okay.
And more about finding solutions.
Solutions, all right.
In the here and now.
In the present.
So strategic therapy.
Yeah.
It focuses on changing those patterns of interaction that are contributing to the problem.
The negative patterns.
Yeah, the negative patterns.
Got it.
While solution-focused therapy
Okay.
focuses on what's already working.
What's already working.
Yeah.
The positive.
The positive.
Okay, interesting.
So it's like two different angles
yeah.
on creating positive change.
Makes sense.
Strategic therapy disrupts the negative.
Solution-focused therapy.
Builds on the positive.
Yeah, builds on the positive.
Okay, so what are some of the techniques they use?
So strategic therapists, they might use reframing. Paradoxical intervention. Or prescribing the symptom.
Prescribing the symptom. All right. Those sound interesting.
Yeah. So reframing.
Okay.
It involves helping the couple to see the problem from a different perspective.
Okay.
For example, if a couple's always arguing about housework.
Right. Who does more?
The therapist might reframe it as a problem of unequal distribution of labor.
Okay.
Rather than a personal attack.
So it's not about blame.
Right.
It's about finding a solution.
Yeah, finding a solution.
That works for both of them.
And a paradoxical intervention.
Okay.
Might involve encouraging the couple to actually do more.
More.
Yeah, more of the behavior they're trying to stop.
Huh, like reverse psychology?
Yeah, kind of.
So how does that work?
So if a couple is always criticizing each other,
right,
the therapist might ask them to spend 15 minutes a day intentionally criticizing each other.
So they're told to criticize each other.
Yeah, it sounds counterintuitive.
It does.
But the idea is that by making it intentional and exaggerating it, it becomes less appealing.
Oh, I see.
They're more likely to stop doing it
naturally.
Right.
Naturally.
It's you get sick of it.
Yeah, you get sick of it.
Okay, that's interesting.
And prescribing the symptom is similar.
All right, give me an example.
So if a couple is avoiding conflict,
right, they don't want to fight.
The therapist might encourage them to schedule a fight night.
A fight night
once a week, where they can actually air their grievances.
Okay.
In a structured way.
So it's controlled fighting.
Yeah, it's controlled.
They know it's coming.
They know it's coming.
It takes the pressure off.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off. All right, I can see how that would work.
And solution-focused therapists.
Okay.
They might use techniques like scaling questions.
Scaling questions, okay.
Yeah, miracle question.
Miracle question. All right.
For exception finding.
Exception finding, yeah. Those sound familiar.
Yeah, so the scaling question might be something like, on a scale of 1 to 10,
right,
with 1 being the worst your relationship has ever been, and 10 being the best, where would you say you are right now?
So it's quantifying it.
Yeah, quantifying it.
Giving it a number.
Gives them a concrete measure.
Instead of just a feeling.
Right.
Okay.
And a miracle question might be something like, if you woke up tomorrow,
right,
and a miracle had occurred,
and
your relationship was exactly the way you wanted it to be,
right,
what would be different?
So they're envisioning the ideal.
Yeah, envisioning the ideal.
The perfect scenario.
It helps them to identify their goals.
Their goals.
Yeah, and then exception finding.
Exception finding.
That involves asking the couple about times when the problem wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
Or wasn't as bad.
So when things were good.
Yeah, tell me about a time when you felt really connected.
Right, connected and in sync.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
It helps them to
see what works.
To see what works, yeah.
To build on those positive moments.
Yeah, it's like mining for those
Golden nuggets.
Yeah, those golden nuggets of connection.
Amidst the challenges.
Amidst all the challenges.
It's a good reminder.
And then there's integrative healing couples therapy,
Integrative healing.
which draws on a variety of perspectives and techniques.
Okay, so it's like a mix of everything.
Yeah, it's like a blend.
It's a blend of approaches.
To create a really holistic and individualized approach.
Okay, so it's tailored to the couple.
Yeah, tailored to the couple.
That's nice.
So the therapist might use psychodynamic therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy,
CBT.
systems theory,
Mindfulness. Spirituality.
Yeah, spirituality.
Wow. It's like a buffet of therapy.
It is. It's about finding what works.
What works for that specific couple.
That specific couple.
At that specific time.
Right.
And the handbook says that the best therapists
Yeah.
are the ones who are adaptable.
Adaptable.
They can use all these different approaches depending
Right.
on the situation.
It's about being a master craftsman.
A master craftsman. I like that.
Yeah. Not just a specialist.
Not just one tool in your belt.
And ultimately, the handbook reminds us that therapy is a collaborative process.
Okay.
The therapist is there to guide you.
Right, to facilitate.
Yeah, to facilitate.
But the couple has to do the work.
The couple has to do the work.
Yeah, you can't just sit back and expect the therapist to fix everything.
Right. It's about empowering them.
Empowering them.
To create the relationship.
They want
Yeah.
to make those changes.
Giving them the
insights.
Yeah, the insights.
To navigate the challenges.
And speaking of insights,
okay.
the handbook also dives into the research.
The research, right?
Yeah, the research behind all of this.
It's important to have that foundation.
Right. It's about grounding those interventions.
Yeah.
In evidence-based practices.
Making sure it actually works.
Yeah, making sure it actually works.
So what does the research say?
Well, one of the most consistent findings is the importance of communication.
Communication, of course.
And conflict resolution skills.
Right. Those are key.
It's not about avoiding conflict altogether.
Yeah.
It's about learning to
handle it well.
Yeah, to handle it well.
To work through it together.
In a healthy way.
In a healthy, constructive way.
Yeah, because conflict.
That's going to happen.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable in any relationship.
And how you deal with it.
Yeah. How you deal with it.
That matters.
Determines whether it
strengthens
or weakens.
Or weakens the bond.
Right. So couples who can communicate.
Yeah.
Who can listen.
Listen to each other.
And find compromises.
Yeah, they're much more likely to
make it.
Yeah, to make it through those rough patches.
It's like having a good ship.
Right.
That can weather the storm.
A good ship, yeah.
And the research also highlights the importance of personality traits.
Okay, personality traits.
Yeah, and emotional regulation.
Okay, so it's not just about how you interact as a couple.
No, it's about who you are as individuals.
Yeah.
The baggage you bring.
The baggage you bring, yeah.
Your strengths and weaknesses.
So, for example, people who are high in neuroticism.
Neuroticism.
Which is the tendency to experience, like, negative emotions.
Right, like anxiety, worry.
They might be more prone to conflict.
Makes sense.
And relationship problems.
Yeah, if you're already negative.
It's harder to see the positive.
Right, it's like a filter.
Yeah, the filter.
It's on your perception.
So self-awareness and emotional regulation are super important.
Super important, yeah.
Especially for those folks.
You got to manage those emotions.
Yeah, and communicate them effectively.
And on the other hand, people who are high in agreeableness.
Agreeableness.
Yeah, they're cooperative, compassionate, empathetic.
Right.
They tend to have smoother relationships.
Easy to get along with.
Yeah, they go with the flow.
It's like they have this this built-in buffer against conflict.
They don't take things personally.
And the research on emotional regulation, it really emphasizes the importance of
being able to manage your own emotions.
Right.
And respond to your partner's emotions.
Yeah, respond to your partner's emotions.
With support and understanding.
Because if both partners are good at that, it creates a sense of safety and security.
Yeah, in the relationship.
Like you can express yourself.
Yeah, you can be yourself.
Without fear of judgment.
Or rejection.
And that safety. It's crucial.
For trust.
For trust, for intimacy.
And the handbook also talks about the influence of culture.
Culture.
Yeah, and society.
So it's not just about the couple.
No, it's about the context.
Yeah, the context they live in.
The bigger picture.
All those cultural norms.
Societal expectations.
Historical events.
Yeah, all of that shapes how we view relationships.
It's like we're all products of our time.
Right.
And our culture.
Influences.
They're always there.
Shaping our beliefs.
Yeah, shaping our beliefs about love and commitment.
And therapists need to be aware of that,
Absolutely.
to be sensitive to those differences,
Yeah, to adapt their approach,
to honor the couple's heritage,
their values.
their beliefs.
And speaking of external influences,
Okay.
the handbook also mentions the impact of stressors,
Stressors, yeah.
external stressors.
Like what kind of stressors?
So couples facing financial strain,
Okay, financial strain.
job loss,
Well,
health problems.
right.
They're more likely to experience conflict
Makes sense.
and relationship distress.
When you're stressed,
It affects everything,
it does.
including your relationship.
It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, a ripple effect.
It depletes you
It depletes you. Yeah.
emotionally.
You have less patience,
Less compassion
less energy
to give to your partner.
to give to your partner. Yeah.
So managing those stressors,
Yeah.
supporting each other,
Supporting each other.
becomes even more important.
Yeah, it's like building that resilience,
Yeah, that resilience
strength
to weather those storms
to weather the storms together.
together.
And therapy can help with that.
It
It
can.
can help couples develop
Coping strategies.
coping strategies
Yeah.
and strengthen their bond.
To withstand those pressures.
Yeah, it's like creating a force field
The force field, yeah.
around your relationship
To protect it
to protect it.
from those outside forces.
And all these factors we've talked about.
Yeah.
It really shows how important it is to
To get help
get help.
when you need it.
Yeah, when you need it.
There's no shame in that.
No shame at all.
It's actually a sign of strength.
Yeah, means you're committed
You're committed to the relationship.
to the relationship.
You're willing to do the work.
You're willing to do the work.
And that's what this handbook is all about.
Right. Giving couples the knowledge
It's a tool
to build better relationships,
stronger relationships,
healthier relationships.
more fulfilling relationships.
It's like a roadmap
It is a roadmap
for love and relationships.
filled with all these
Insights
insights
and strategies
and strategies that actually work.
that are proven to work
And it's a reminder,
no matter what you're going through.
no matter what challenges you're facing,
There's hope.
there's hope. Yeah.
There's a way forward.
paths to healing
Healing and growth.
and growth. So to all our listeners out there,
If you're feeling stuck,
if you're struggling,
if you're longing for that connection,
don't give up.
yeah, don't give up.
Reach out for help.
There are amazing therapists
Therapists who care
who can guide you.
on this journey.
And remember, love is a journey.
It is.
It's a lifelong adventure.
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
Twists and turns.
Yeah, embrace the journey.
Embrace it
Seek support
when you need it.
and keep those conversations flowing.
Keep talking, keep connecting.
Until next time.
Stay strong out there.